For the soft life, you can keep the spotlight. I got stripes off white. I'm straight out the box like check the cell all white. Gotta keep it all white. Everything I do is for the soft life. Might just drop the dreads and get a low fade. Back in primary, I cap the John Drake. Skeen, maar ik klap hem full sway. We don't never play safe. Cooler as a ace. I had days when I was looking over as a kerkmees. Zani's making miracles with nothing and it come base. Everything against me never stopped me coming first place. Now I'm so cool, all my haters acting two-faced. Everything I do is for the soft life. You can keep the spotlight. I got stripes off white. I'm straight out the box like check the cell all white. Gotta keep it all white. Everything I do is for the soft life. Too smooth, Vasily. I'm too smooth. I'm too smooth. I'm too smooth, Vasily. I'm too smooth. I'm too smooth. I'm too smooth, Vasily. I'm too smooth, Vasily. I'm too smooth, Vasily. I'm too smooth. I'm too smooth. Everything I do is for the soft life. You can keep the spotlight. I got stripes off white. I'm straight out the box like check the cell all white. Gotta keep it all white. Everything I do is for the soft life.
Well, that brings the time here on Informanté Live to 20 minutes to 9 it is. Morgen Mitch.
Morgen Kaufman, hoe gaan het?
It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. We're missing our partner in action today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably can give them a good
Nevi.
explanation. Eh?
Yeah, it is Tuesday today. What do we have? The 5th of April. Nice to have everybody on the show. Nice to have all the listeners and the viewers out there. We're saying good morning to Helene, also Florin and Victor de Kock. Good morning. Gabes Munjala, Ethel Koningsdochter Visagie, and also Ita and all the others. A hearty good morning. Nice to have you with us on the show today, only with Kaufi and Mitch. Our Neville is unfortunately, and he complained about it already yesterday, he is in bed with the flu. All right, so we'll call it the common cold. We will not call it that other thing.
And a lot of people are suspecting that the other thing is back.
Do you think? Well, not according to the statistics, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
No. And, but we've got some interesting stuff. Talking about interesting stuff, I just got a video from some friends, and we just need to have this confirmed. Is it true that Keetmanshoop has got a locust swarm in the town?
Oh, yeah.
Is there sprinkane, locusts in Keetmanshoop at the moment?
At
as
the
we
moment,
speak?
baie. Maar
Right.
er was nie so erge probleem waar ek gebly het, maar as jy in die dorp is.
Okay.
So, and I see
Because you
the-
were in Keetmanshoop this weekend.
Yeah.
And did you see any of these locusts flying around there?
Yeah. Because I didn't even think about it in that sense van,
Right.
daar is altyd in hierdie tyd van die jaar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ek het dit nie so gevat, like, I didn't take it as, let's say, it's like a whole swarm of locusts, but like, you see it a lot in town.
Right.
And the place where I stayed also, that last time.
So, shouldn't the people in Keetmanshoop go collect these locusts and eat them?
No.
Why not? If we eat mopani worms, locusts is a source of protein. What's wrong with eating sprinkane?
Yeah, I saw like in Chinese street food, there's like a program on YouTube. I saw they fry them, they deep fry them.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I don't think.
on.
I don't
With
think we do
so
that.
big-
They don't do it.
So bietjie aromat and Tabasco.
As miskien hy kroonlyns en is wat dit sal doen, maar ek grap net. They don't do it, like, serious.
Right.
But it
Right.
could be a thing.
Okay.
Like, I have this thing that I want to try out, some snake.
Snake.
Yeah, like
Whoa.
a cobra or something.
No, man.
You've
no,
never
man.
tried it?
No. There's certain things that I wouldn't eat. And
No, but
locusts is definitely one of them, and snake definitely not one of them. There's too many other nice foods out there that.
Yeah, but the way they prepare them, you get into a restaurant
Okay.
and you order a live snake.
A live snake.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And they bring it. Yeah.
Mm.
They wait for you. You can take it home, or they prepare it for you there, and they make it like is it kebabs or whatever that you put like this?
Like
stick.
sausages.
Yeah, so society is the answer. And they cut the snake up and they deep fry the snake and it's still moving.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and I'm
But
like, yo, I would like to try that.
no,
Take my girlfriend.
not gonna
there.
happen. I don't eat afval of tripe. I've tried Mopani worms once. Wasn't too bad. But no locusts, snakes, or funny stuff. No dogs.
Okay, what
cats,
would you
or-
eat?
No,
What would you
man.
try?
I'm living in a country where there's just top quality beef, pork, and chicken available, and that's fine.
Cover, you must try new stuff.
No. My better half, she tries all kinds of things. I'm also not so fond of seafood and all that. Hou jy van vis?
Yeah, I go for. Oh, that's my favorite. No.
Wat, vis?
Yeah, first like crab,
Calamari,
calamari,
crayfish.
prawn.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Maar
Right.
dit moet net nagekookt worden. Chicken.
Right.
Fish head. Would you eat the fish head?
No.
That's like a delicacy there, bro.
No,
No.
not going to happen. No. Okay, so Ethel, Koningsdochter Versaghi vra, waar is Neville? Okay, so Neville has got the flu. I trust he will be back tomorrow morning if he feels better. We'll be in touch with Neville a little bit later, just to find out how he is. Dante Lovo says, Moro. Ethel asks, Mitch, het jy nuwe brille aan? Wys gou jou nuwe brille vir Ethel.
Oh yeah.
Ja.
Ethel.
Ethel.
Die ander brille het voete gekry.
Yes. Good morning, Clotilda, Jürgen Geisep, guten Morgen. Taishon, kom ek lag, Crystal Palace happened. Yes, we will be talking about that a little bit later. Maybe Mitch can get us those results out. Estomich says he's got the Arsenal flu. Yes, I think he definitely does. Maybe it just, when he watched the game last night, he probably just started feeling sicker and sicker. En dit is hoekom Neville vanoggend nie kon opstaan nie. Dante Lovo says, no, people must not go test, please. Muni, don't go test. Why, Dante? Are you scared that we're going to start a new wave? Stephanus James Ananias, too soon, bra. Nomaguth, Moro. Ja, Colin King, Malume. More, Algal behalve Arsenal fans. I hate locusts in Bangkok. Oh, he ate locusts. Mark,
Yeah, even
Mark,
in
did you eat locusts in Bangkok?
Yeah, I think a lot of Asian countries do that.
Right.
It just looks nice. You should go watch it.
No, not going to happen. Taishon says, Kofi, they are called flying prawns. You see, julle mense in Keetmans, julle moet die sprinkane eet. Make a delicacy out of. The people in the north have got the Mopani worm delicacy. Why don't you guys make the springkan delicacy?
Ons sal nie kan nie.
Ja,
Ons sal nie kan nie.
Keetmans.
Like you must know, we hate stuff that are crawlers.
Right.
Anything that crawls or like flies like short distance. Like if it flies, it must fly like a bird. We know, okay, yeah, that's edible. But this stuff that flies short distance, like
Yes.
no.
Voja, good morning, crew and top fans. Dante, I want to try eat everything. Taishon says, Norma Guth, we, the top fans, also want a cake. I say, Norma, go and give all the top fans also cake. But actually, I think Norma knows what's really good. She's got her 3 favorites, which is Neville, Kofi, and Mitch. So we're the only ones getting
She
cake
has
today.
taste.
Yes. Estimich says, keep talking about weird food. I'm on mission summer body. You won't mess my appetite. Norma goes, it's a second half. Stefanos, it's a coffee. Jy eet nie kat nie. I will not eat cat or dog either. I won't even eat donkey. Sal jy donkey eet? Mitch?
Donkey.
Ja.
Ek eet donkey.
Oh, okay.
Ek eet donkey soos water.
Snoek.
Snoek. Ja, ek hou van gestoomde snoek.
Soos Wosha sê, snoekkop met sout en peper en eie
gestoom. My kid, man.
Norma goes, ons sal kom eet.
And you must sort out the I must say bones. What do we call this? What do we?
Guess who's watching
this?
Yeah.
Ja, jy moet die gratte in die mond uitsorteer.
Yeah.
You can't take them out like this.
Right.
Yeah, you must be really good with your tongue.
Right.
When you do that.
Guess who's watching? Neville Basson is watching. And I think there are a lot of people that would like to have Neville's comments on the Arsenal game. Okay, so Neville, we know you are online. We know you are watching. Talk to us. You are lying sick in bed, and we'd like to know whether it's the Arsenal flu that you have. In the meantime, let's have a look what the news has to say.
Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Firm but fair.
This is Informanté Live, and these are our top stories. The Ministry of Health and Social Services has announced an exponential spread in the scabies skin disease in the northern parts of the country, with the cases increasing to 3,454 reported countrywide from January through to March 2022. This was announced by the Minister of Health and Social Services, Dr. Kalumbi Shangula, who stated that the most affected populations are communities living along the northern borders, school learners in the affected regions, and migrant populations in urban and peri-urban areas where access to water and sanitation facilities is lacking or inadequate. Currently, the Kunene is the most affected region, with a total of 1,418 scabies cases recorded, followed by Oangwena with 708, Otjuzunjupa with 402, Kavango West with 375, Kavango East with 204, Omusati with 130, Oshana with 104, and Omaheke with 46. The Hardap region reported 20 cases, Oshikoto 20, Irongo 17, and Taras 10. The state health facilities have been reporting cases of scabies in the past, particularly in the northern regions. However, as of October 2021, a number of scabies cases have been reported throughout the country. According to the reports, the current transmission of scabies has moved from households to schools, with challenges of water supply and where personal hygiene practices have been found to be less than adequate, Dr. Shangula said. The harvesting and selling of Mopani worms has become a lucrative business and is no longer limited to areas formerly known as Ovambuland. As people flock to the forest to harvest the nutritious and delicious worms, traditional authorities try by all means to maintain some kind of order, not only to ensure sustainability, but also to prevent acts that might cause damage to the environment. The Omaruru-based Zareua Traditional Authority is the latest addition to the long list of traditional authorities that issue permits to those who wish to harvest Mopani worms. The permits issued by the ZTA are valid for localities such as Okwanambuku, Okomaere, Omwantanduku, Ochuzonju, and Ochiperongo, and the surrounding areas. According to a written harvester's contact, the following conditions must be met. Each harvester pays 16 Namibia dollars for a permit. No permit, no harvesting. Littering and damaging the trees is strictly prohibited, and harvesters must remain together at one campsite. The ZTA is not to be held liable for any attacks by wild animals such as elephants, and the Namibian Police and the Environment Ministry officials got involved recently after some harvesters strayed into the Etosha National Park. And finally, by law, employment opportunities in Namibia are reserved for citizens, permanent and temporary residents, and work permit holders. Angolan nationals who entered Namibia since last year, fleeing a devastating drought affecting their areas of origin in the southern parts of Angola, are none of the above. Yet they are now being employed as cheap laborers in the border regions of Omusati and Oangwena and even deeper inland. Law enforcement agents, immigration officials, and local political leaders are not happy about the current state of affairs and are constantly exhorting community members to refrain from employing such illegal immigrants. Employing illegal immigrants is a punishable offense, said Omusati Regional Police Commander Titus Shikongo. The same view was expressed by Regional Governor Iringnus Njala. He said that those members of the community who employ illegal immigrants are encouraging illegal immigration and depriving Namibians of job opportunities. Your Trustco share price today, the 5th of April, is $1.25 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 14 Namibia dollars and 60 cents, against the euro at 16 Namibia dollars, and against the British pound at 19 Namibia dollars and 20 cents. This is Informanté Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Informanté News. Firm but fair.
And this week is the last Easter competition, and it is a big one. You stand a chance to win a business design workshop and up to 3 rounds of identity stylescapes worth 10,000 Namibia dollars. All you have to do is go to the Informanté Live Facebook page, and in the comments section of the competition, type in hashtag the AK Design CO in the comment section. The competition ends on Monday, the 11th of April. Winners will be announced on social media.
In the Premier League, Crystal Palace beats Arsenal.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Crystal Palace beats Arsenal 3-0. And now we know why Neville is at home.
Yes.
Yeah, and we need to understand we all are mourn in different ways.
Yes.
So yeah, and La Liga, Sociedad beats Espanyol with 1 point. So it's 1-0 there at La Liga. And then Italy, the A series, AC Milan draws with Bologna. How do I do Bologna?
Right.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
don't know.
guys.
You don't watch soccer a lot.
I don't watch soccer a lot.
So
like,
well, La Liga is unimportant,
yeah.
isn't it?
Nee, gee mos net die mense die stats.
Okay.
Because I know a little bit about it. So, and then in Germany we got Bayern Munich beating. Oh my goodness.
Bayern München. What are you reading here?
It's
Let me
Bayern
have a-
Munich.
you need. Yeah, it's Bayern München.
How
So-
is it Bayern München? Is it the Bayern Munich?
Yeah, but in English it's Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
But in German it's Bayern München.
Oh my god.
Right.
Ek sal mos nie so kan lees nie.
5-1 against Schweinfurt.
Schweinfurt.
There we go. So there we've got some soccer scores for you. Maar ja, ons sal maar vir Mitch op 'n sokkerkursus moet stuur.
Ek kies sokker. Ek het gekief op met sokker.
Okay.
My span wen dan eens.
Jürgen Geisep says, laat siek mense wegbly, check vir oupa Nef spying on us from his bed of oil. Estimate, Anaconda, Vapor Rub, Tiger Balm has no effect for Neville, especially when his team sucks. The team can trigger running nose, sore throat, and unwanted fever. Remedy, stay in bed. All right? Stay in bed, Neville. Vosha also saying was busy doing practicals at school. Now I'm done. Okay. Mopani worms are from Herero land and not from Vambuland. So we need to get this to the newspaper people, the journalists out there, because Vosha is saying Mopani worms are from Herero land, not Vambuland. But Vosha,
Maybe they're Herero land,
Nee, man.
Mopani worms.
They are Mopani worms most to the southern parts of Vambuland, there where the Tosha Pan is. But I, Mopani worms, I guess, are basically from all central, northern, and northern regions of Namibia. Do you get Mopani worms in Kavango? Are they Mopani worms?
I don't
in
know.
Kavango? Yeah, we will need to.
Can you say what is Bayern Munich's German name now? How do you?
Bayern München.
Bayern München.
Yeah.
Bayern München.
Yes.
Bayern München.
Tyshawn says, Mitch, please read like someone wearing glasses.
Ek glo jy sê hy het dit geweet nie dat dit
Yes.
Bayern München is.
Yes. Oh, yeah, everybody's asking, are you wearing a polo neck?
It's a turtleneck.
It's a turtleneck. Is it not a polo neck?
Yeah, we say polo neck.
And where are your socks today, this morning?
Oh, I've secret socks on now.
And you have secret socks because you like wearing your long socks.
Yeah, I had to wash them yesterday.
Ah, I see. Have
I
you
only have 2 pairs now, so I can only wear them like for 2 days.
So where do you buy them?
Oh, there's this other girl that sells them.
Ah,
Avon. So it's so now that it's winter,
right.
I will be sorted.
Aha.
En die mensen wat voor mij uitgelachen het voor mijn sokjes. Sien jullie?
All right, so let's have a look at a little bit of the news stories and just talk about them a little bit. One of the major issues of concern currently in Namibia is the scabies that we are experiencing in certain regions of Namibia. Scabies has been an issue in Namibia, but this has now particularly started to pick up. You know what scabies is?
Nope.
Okay. So
Probably, yeah,
scabies is like a little parasite, little little bug. It's microscopically small, and it basically enters into your skin, and it just goes underneath the skin. And then wherever it is that, then becomes infected and becomes inflamed. So it's like, looks almost like you've got the pox. But it is not easily treatable, and it's contagious, right?
Oh my.
So now the issue is that, it is treatable. It is not as if it's not treatable. There are medicines for it. But the issue is if it
Is it deadly?
if it is, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard of any death of scabies as yet. Maybe our viewers out there can just maybe read up on that. But the issue is it has now basically found its way from, common homes to the children. And then the children have now, typically brought this to school with them, and then, infected other children, who then, carried it back to their homes again. And so it's like a little bit of a vicious cycle.
And okay, so are there any ways you can prevent this from happening?
Well, yeah, by staying hygienically clean and living in hygienically clean environments, making sure that you wash your bedding and also disinfect your home and all that kind of. That is the easiest way of doing it. But there are a lot of Namibians that are living in impoverished conditions who have difficulties with that.
Yeah, and look, and they don't have much of a choice.
Right, because typically, let's say, for example, you go to a clinic and, you get treated at the clinic and get the medicines for it and all that kind of stuff. That's all good and well. But if you go back home again and your home is not clean, then what is, what is the issue? What's the point of that?
It's like doing the same thing over and over. You don't have a choice, though.
Yes.
You don't have a choice, so.
So the Ministry of Health is saying that the state health facilities have been reporting these cases, particularly in the northern regions. And the current transmissions or transmission of scabies has moved from households to schools with challenges of water supply and where personal hygiene practices have been found. This has been said by Dr. Shangula. So we are going to watch this for you quite closely. You can find more information on our Informanté.web website. You can go and get all the stories there, or you can just go to Facebook and check out Informanté, and you'll get all of this. So be aware if you are traveling into those areas, or if you've got loved ones in those areas, or maybe children at school in those areas, that you just keep a closer eye. Okay, then in the meantime, Stephanus James Ananias is asking, you've got 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
Only 2 pairs of socks.
Yeah, for the long ones.
Oh.
And then 1 pair of the secret socks, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. The long ones, 2
But
pairs, yeah.
Should we not maybe just, start a trust fund for you that we can collect some money so that you can buy yourself some more socks?
Why would I? How many socks do you have?
I've got lots of socks.
How many pairs do you have?
50, 80, I don't know. But
So you don't lose your socks like
I don't lose my socks now.
I have like other pairs that don't have friends. Like they don't.
Yes,
have, yeah.
they go missing in the washing machine. Have you ever noticed?
And that's the thing. And I'm like, how many pairs do you guys have? Like I have 3. Like I think that's more than enough.
Yes.
Why would I want 50 pairs to do what?
Because then you can, wear them and you can heap them up, and then you can take all your socks and put them into the washing machine, and they won't go missing. Because you're only washing, let's say, 20 pairs of socks.
20 pairs.
Yeah,
And who bought them for you?
I did.
You went in a shop and bought 20
But
pairs.
not in one go. Hello.
Oh yeah. Because I'll be what?
And you'll only find black socks in my cupboard.
You like black?
I don't wear any other color sock.
I don't know how you guys do. Like Stephanus James and then the say for J. What in the kid months? How many socks do you have? Like how many pairs of socks do you have? And ek dink Jerk and Tishon like I know for me because like this is the first time I'm hearing that. 50 pairs. I think my dad had like 20 or 30.
Yeah, well there you go.
Yeah, but 50 and so my kid months.
I have enough socks.
And those were just for church probably.
Ah, okay.
You go to church a lot?
Not regularly, no. But, okay, so Stephanus says, hy het gedink die bril sal hom slim maak. Denny says, yes, there are Mopani worms in Kavango also. Thank you, Denny. And Tyshawn says, Stephanus James Ananias, mense met brille is slim mense. Yes, so that is why Mitch and I are both wearing our leesbrille. It comes with age, I guess. Washa, do you wear your socks for 2 days, Mitch?
Yeah, 1 pair I wear it for 2 days.
Okay, yes.
I'm a nama, I have small feet. So
okay, so
our feet, our feet don't stink. So
oh, because
that's natural.
you've got small feet and therefore they don't stink.
Yeah.
Do you wash your feet regularly?
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why they don't stink. It's got nothing
No,
to
it
do with the
has to
size
do
of
with
your
being
feet.
a nama and having small feet. It's just one of the perks that comes with being a nama
Yeah.
and having small feet.
Vesi Kayere, I totally agree with you on this one. I also love Mitch's honesty. No. Stephanus, not at all, but some. Tyshawn, Stephanus, James Ananias, not at all, including Mitch. Ek bly dom om is dom, mense lewe lank. Stompy really is a transparent character. Yes, indeed, Stompy is. For those of you who've just joined this show, if you don't know who Stompy is actually our very own Mitch. He got this nickname by his own doing. Jy het dit self gesê eendag. And that's where everybody started laughing, and now you are called Stompy because you refer to yourself as Stompy.
At least our fans have something to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Marsha Lee says, Mitch, elke maand moet jy 'n paar of 2 koop, dan sal jy ook eventually 20 pare kan hê. That's exactly it. You don't buy like 50 pairs in one go. You just go every month and buy, let's say, 5 pairs.
Don't they get lost?
No, I wear them on my feet. How do socks get lost when I wear them
You
on
see,
my feet?
my socks, like I think they got lost, most of them, but I don't think I'll have a whole drawer like just socks.
Right.
Why the hell would I have that?
But do Nama people also wear sandals like the Herreros do?
What's our favorite sandal? Our favorite sandals is like that. The Adidas, the blue ones.
Oh, those blue ones with the white.
Yeah,
The blue-white
Yeah.
over.
If you don't have, every number has to have that.
Is that part of the cupboard?
Yeah, it is. It is. You must have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because the Herreros, they wear those other leather ones that you buy at
Omega or
Agra.
whatever. Is it
Yeah.
Omega?
You buy them at Agra, I think.
Palo Falcons of
Yes.
Omega.
Yes.
Ja, is Palo Falcons. Sê
Right.
toch, ek sê dit toch reg, né?
Yeah.
Palo Falcons or what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's what I call the Herrero starter kit. You've got to have the sandals, you've got to have the Toyota Bakkie, and you've got to have that farmer's hat
Yeah.
that you also buy
the
at
khaki,
Agra.
the khaki dress code.
Yeah, the khaki dress code, but with that farmer's hat. That is the Herrero starter kit.
I don't understand why is it so surprising for these people like that I only have 3 pairs of socks. Listen, you people are in relationships. I was out of the game probably like for 4 or 5 Father's Days.
Yes.
Like 4 or 5 Father's Days, I didn't get socks. So as a belief,
But there's still Christmas and birthdays. You should be getting socks from your family on Christmas and birthdays.
my birthday is my son's birthday, so I don't celebrate it. It's him.
Right. Do you buy him socks at least?
Yeah, we chill.
Mohau, sy voetjies ryk seker Want sokkies is deel van 'n mens se dresscode. Yes. Mitch, you don't have socks because you use them while watching Pinky. Hulle raak nie weg nie. Jy gooi hulle weg. Hulle is kliphard. I also agree, Ro. Hy gooi hulle weg because he doesn't wash them. That's the problem. En secret sok is mos soos gewone sok by Mitch. Jy kan net 3 paar sokkies hê. No, secret socks are those ones that don't go over the ankles.
Yeah.
They're like just underneath that we call the shoe line, underneath the techie line. That's your secret socks. I actually like wearing secret socks. Stephanus says, yes, he's got 18 pairs. You see, Stephanus got 18 pairs of socks. What is wrong with you?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
This is this is the first time I hear people having that much socks. This is like serious, you guys. How would I do that?
Yeah, 3 socks. That sucks. Jürgen Geisip says he's got an entire drawer just for socks for all occasions. Marsha, what does the size of your feet have to do with the smell of your feet? That's exactly what I'm also saying. I don't know.
You don't know, ne?
You didn't go drinking last night.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking because, why would your size of the feet have something to do with the smell of the feet?
It's just a thing. We're like mensen met groot voeten. Zijn voeten stunk.
Nee man, my voete stink nie.
Sy groot voeten, wat is hy straatjie?
I'm wearing number 12.
12, dat stunk.
No way.
It's a wasteland up there.
You can ask my entire family, my feet don't smell. Well, anyway, Estimich says, they say that smaller the feet, yeah, you know the rest. Yes, Estimich.
Yeah, why is that true?
As die stompie klein voete het, dan kan ons maar indink wat moet ook klein wees.
No, luister, why is that true? Come on, why do you think that could be true? And if I say people with big feet, unless the foot is stung, that can't be true.
Yes.
Yeah, but the size is...
But if we look at the size of the entire man, then we know what the size of the little man is.
Oh my God.
Yes.
You see, that type of...
We won't get you to show us. It's okay, don't worry.
That type of... What do you call this? Conspiracy theories.
Dit is hoekom ek so nice en lank is too much.
Ayana.
Okay, Vosha says it's better to have one color socks because when the pair goes to the washing machine, one comes back. I know we at home we call it the buddy system. You take the socks and you knot them together, and then you throw them in the wash. Then they can't go lost.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay, it's better to have one color socks because when the pair goes to the washing machine, read that already. Minister of Health, Minister of Local Housing and Municipaliteit. All our expensive municipalities close down water and settlement areas, queue up for water, and how will hygiene be maintained? I'm totally with you on that one, Florence. I'm completely with you. What we've been talking about this, supply of water into, and clean, healthy water into those regions. That's just been an ongoing thing, and we've been talking about that since yesterday already. Yes, we need to go out and support those communities more in terms of hygiene. Vorsha says, oh my goodness, Mitch, change socks every day, small or big feet, sweat is sweat. That is what Florence says. He changes them every day.
Your feet sweat?
You. I will not wear socks longer than a day.
There are some
All
shoes
my
that you
socks
can
go
wear without
into the
socks.
wash. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I like wearing some of my techies without socks.
Yeah, but that's where the smelly feet come from.
No, it can't.
Exactly.
Coffee, you don't believe me, ne?
If you wear tackies without wearing socks, dan begin hulle regtig stink.
My voete stink nie, Coffee. My voete kan nie stink nie. It's just...
Right. Mutasio Morning. Florence says he's got more than 40. Norma Mitch. Even my son has more than 10 socks. The little man with the little feet and the little... Rovera, are your shoes customized, Coffee? No, not at all. I actually am at the borderline with big feet, but I do find it difficult when maybe we can just talk about this a bit. I don't know, you guys are out there. I'm talking to the men specifically now. For those of us who've got these big feet, I'm talking about number 12, 11, 12, 13, those sizes. Don't you find it difficult going into shops and, finding shoes that are actually in those sizes? Because let's say I go into Edgar's to buy tackies, You know, it is because the procurement people are so small. They're usually namas. They're like small people, and they just think of themselves the whole time. They don't.
Which is
think,
nice.
No, it's not, because we, the tall people, also need to be looked after. So the chances for us to find big shoes in abundance in shops where the procurement people are so small, that is a problem, and I think that needs to change. So Edgar's,
Yep.
who are the other people? Techie Town. Speak to your people out there and say, listen, koop tog ook skoene vir groot mense, vir my en vir Neville. Okay. Ethel says, Shalako has a big suitcase full of socks. Just ask him. There we go. Go to Shalako, because I've seen Shalako also wearing fancy socks. Go speak to Shalako. The two of you can team up and you can buy, I'm sure he'll point you into the right direction to get better socks.
I don't agree with you guys having 40 pairs of socks. It's just too much for me. Like 3 or 4, we cool.
Mohal says that you just stand up quickly.
No.
She says, stand up, Mitch, we'll check the print and conclude.
More as ek my sweatpants aantrek.
Okay. All right. Jürgen says you can't be called a stompie. Wear a size 5 and expect to have a bazooka. Yes, glad nie. And then Moao says glad nie. Wessel Mossad says I have a UK 13. If you find a pair, you buy it. You have no choice. I totally agree with you, Wessel. These procurement people in clothing shops.
Let's have an end with this, ne?
Yes.
There was a statistic done of a significant correlation between the shoe size and stretch of penile length. Conclusion: the supposed association of penile length and shoe size has no scientific basis. Sinjay Kaufman. Ja, daar is leens wat die mense sê. As ek met hulle sê, julle ken nie my wamboekant nie.
Right. Okay, and another contentious issue in the news this morning. These fleeing drought, shall we call them, refugees from the southern parts of Angola.
Yeah.
So the issue is that Angolan nationals who have entered Namibia since last year, fleeing their devastating drought, are now affecting their areas of origin in the southern parts of Angola. Okay, and they are not Namibian citizens, neither are they permanent or temporary residents, and they do not have work permits. They're now flocking to Namibia, and now yet they are being employed as cheap laborers in the border regions of Omusati and Oanguena and even deeper inland. What shall we say about this? How shall we handle this? Because, I mean, what is wrong with employing cheaper laborers? If you can employ cheaper laborers, then it's most good for your business, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very complicated.
So what is wrong with it? Are we saying that they're taking away the jobs of local Namibians, but then the local Namibians are too expensive to employ? Because in Europe, it is not uncommon for other countries to employ cheaper labor from other countries. I know, for example, that in Holland, for instance, they employ a lot of Spaniards to go and work on their tulip fields. You know, there are a lot of vegetable farmers that employ Spaniards to go and Portuguese people to go and work on their vegetable fields.
Is it because these people are skilled in this particular way of farming?
Or
is it just because they charge less?
No, obviously they get good with their work, right? But they are just cheaper as your local laborers. The local laborers don't want to work for that amount of money, yet people from other countries are willing to work for that amount of money. Please give us your thoughts. I know Mutumba is a big farmer. He knows about farming. He loves farming. Mutumba, if you are listening, should we not, go and employ people from other countries if they're willing to do the job for lower money? Right. So let's have a look there. We're still on the socks section. But we're slowly but surely getting off that. So
let me ask this, Kaufman. Let me ask this. So, do they have is the problem that they are illegally in the country and getting the job, or the fact that they are getting the job and charging less? They're getting the job because they're charging less, which means that Namibians are applying. If they say they're getting the job because they're charging less, and they want to stand with that, that means that Namibians are applying and they're not getting
Okay.
the job.
So what the authorities are saying, we're not looking at, the regional police. The regional police commander, Titus Shikongo, says employing illegal immigrants is a punishable offense. But what do? You're living in another country. It is now drought-stricken. You go over the border. That is illegal. But if you stay, you're probably going to die of hunger.
So what do you do?
You are now in another country. You need to survive. So you go and ask for work. Okay? It's a humanitarian issue. But now the authorities are saying, hang on a moment, do not employ these people because they are illegal immigrants and they are not citizens of the country. They are not citizens permanent or temporary, and they don't have work permits either. So they're committing a criminal offense. Now, the question that I have is the people that employ them, in other words, the employer, they're employing them because their local Namibians don't want to do the work for cheaper money.
And if that's are these Namibians skilled in this particular way of farming?
Right.
So why would they want to have less money if they're really skilled?
So let's say, for example, these people they could be really skilled. We don't know. We don't know the
We don't
skill
really,
set yet.
we don't know.
But let's say, for example, these people are now so desperate that they say, "I'll work if you just give me food and water."
and it's my farm,
It's your farm.
It's my farm.
You are the employer.
and somebody else comes to me and says, "I'll do the job
Right.
for you, a proper job for you, if you pay me 1,000 per hour, let's just say 10,000 per month,
Yes.
and I have somebody that can work for food per month,
Yes.
I will take the person, depending also in what state my company is. So, but you'll obviously go for somebody. You'd always want to spend less and make more. So, yeah, I would go for the food, the guy that would work for food.
Sure. Okay, the Gerry van Wyk says, "Morning, guys. Cheap labor equals slaves." Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that one. But I mean, these people are so incredibly desperate. So I guess it goes both ways. Rovera says the issue is that they are undocumented, and that does not allow them to work within the Namibian borders. I do know that South Africa is also busy targeting undocumented foreigners. Rovera says slaves were not paid. Mileni says our people has gone lazy and they are also expensive. So what should we do? Asino says I have 10 pairs, but after laundry I always say even if okay, that's still on the socks issue. We've now moved on to cheap labor. But it's not fair to pay someone under the minimum wage. It's unconstitutional. That is what Ronnie Joe says.
But there are a lot of people that what's the minimum wage here? Isn't it 3.5?
I don't know, Mitch.
That's the taxable wage.
Well, if
You only tax if you have.
Tumba could give us that.
Yeah, you only tax if you're getting paid about 3,500, isn't it?
Yes.
So, but there's security guards that don't even get that. I think they get like 2.5 or 2.
Right.
So, what do we do? Like, does it mean that's fair for security guards because of the hours they put in? Also, I think those guys work way more hours than we do when we do the 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're paid $12 per hour. If you work, if me and you do the 8 to 5, we said $12 per hour.
Yes.
These guys just paid, okay, not per hour, but I'm gonna pay you $2,000 every month? Are you willing to be a security guard for my company? Yes, desperate, right?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know he's getting how many hours he is working. He just knows from 8 o'clock till 5. It's
He
let's say
works
3
a
o'clock. in the
normal
mo-
day.
Yeah, like a normal day. He
Right.
feels like I'm working for it per day. I'm getting paid. He
Yes.
doesn't know if it's per hour or per what.
No, but he
how
can
much per-
calculate it. It depends on when he gets paid. If he gets paid monthly, you can calculate how much you're getting paid per day, per hour. I mean,
But
it's
most
a
of the
bit
guys
more.
that work, they don't really have this knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he believes that I'm getting paid for that day, whether it is 12 hours, whether it's 16 hours, whether it's what. You are getting paid for those days that I'm working. I'm getting paid till end of the month.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if it's $2,000, he doesn't really know, like, unless somebody sits him down and says, you're actually supposed to get paid this much.
Mitch out here looking like an old Chinese man, says Taishon. Taishon is weer op sy stukke. Vosha says minimum is 1,300 somewhere. Okay, so yes. Now, the thing is, Vosha, are these people now being employed for lower than 1,300? And if that is the case, if they get paid lower than 1,300, let's say they get paid 500. I'm just using an example. But they're getting food and lodging for free. You know, our local Namibians would be saying, no, I'm not willing to work for 1,300. I want, let's say, 2,000. And I'll sort out my own lodging and food, my own home and food. So, Vosha also says it's about 72 Namibia dollars per day.
Per day.
Yeah, it's also,
day.
you know, what are we paying, let's say, our home assistants or our garden assistants? What is the minimum wage for a gardener nowadays, you know?
Yeah, if they're like permanent, they just come
Yes.
in per week or something.
Yes, yes.
I think most people pay them around 2,000.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let's look at it this. But what can you really do with anything below 3,005 as a Namibian? Let's say, Kofi, you've done this work. You are presenter, you're a news reader, right?
Yes.
So it's desperate times. You're out of a job now, and your daily, not daily, but monthly expenses as
Okay.
Kofi
Right.
was already about $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was your monthly expenses, and now you're looking for a job. You're out of a job, and then another media company probably hires you, and they go like, "No, Coffee, we can only pay you $800 per
Okay.
month,
Right.
or let's say $2,000 per month." Would you
Right.
take that job?
Well, it would depend on that would depend on my situation at the time. Right.
Yeah.
So let's say I'm really in need for it, then obviously I'll take it but what it then will cause probably is that I'll be continuing looking around for better opportunities. So
Well-
that company would not keep me that long. Which means that if I then go, they're going to have to go and re-employ. Then they have to go through the entire effort again. You understand? That is the big thing. You need to remunerate your employees at a level where they would stay with you and they would remain loyal with you, and that will then allow for the organization to be built up.
Yeah.
But we all know what the economic situation of the country is currently in the meantime. So employers are looking at different options. Jobs are absolutely scarce at the moment in Namibia. Don't think you'll just somehow find a job around every corner. And that is why it is important then, if you do have a job, to try and keep it for as long as possible.
Yeah.
But now if the employer can get cheaper labor because people are more desperate to get the jobs,
and don't
they
care
would-
about the skills
they
you bring.
would let go the 1,300 Namibia, $1,300 laborer, and they'll go and employ $500 laborer.
And then that brings down the quality of. Don't you think, as an employer, that you are actually shooting your brand in
It's a
like you-
fine line.
yeah, you shooting from the hip. You understand? Like you think people will not notice the quality of your marketing, the quality of your your services.
Yes.
Going down if you employ people that are not really skilled and you want them to learn. Now this person comes through there and now they have to spend like 3-4 months being trained, and you're paying this person for doing nothing
Okay.
but just being trained.
Right.
You're paying a salary
You
for a person rather than just keeping the person that was skilled, or,
Right.
or employing somebody that's skilled that can really start working at the same time. So would you employ somebody that you have to train for 3 months and you're paying them the salary? Okay.
Right.
Or keep the person that is skilled, that has already been doing that, or hire the person that has almost the same level of skill for the same job or more. Somebody that will just come through and start making money for you.
Well, I think that depends on the situation. It's supply and demand. If there is skilled workers out there that are willing to work for a lower wage, obviously we would employ them, would we not? And let's say we've got unskilled laborers out there that we would need to train first, well, then we would need to consider that, isn't it? Whether we want to actually employ them and then first train them up for a couple of months and then see how they're doing, and then it's a supply and demand issue.
Yeah.
You know, so if the employer demands employment, in other words, the employer is looking to employ people, then and there's a big demand. Obviously, if there's a big supply, low demand, then obviously the labor rates would go down. Let's have a look at a couple of the comments. Because Vosha says that it is between $100 and $150 per day in Swakopmund. Florence says it's hard to be an immigrant or an asylum seeker. These are humans like us. In Sweden, paperless persons is getting food at churches and also a little bit of money from the government, or in Namibia cases, it will be more tough. And still, Namibians is nice people. They will. Okay, Florian, that's a bit funny written there, but I get your gist, I guess. We need to maybe see what else do we do. Should we not put them into camps, Florian? Should we not put them into refugee camps?
But then we are paying, we're taking money out of the pockets of the taxpayer rather than that person just working.
Yeah, but you've got to remember.
Why would we put them in tents if they just work? If we just allow them to work, why can't we just allow them to work?
But it is because they take away the jobs of the Namibians.
But then they will be taking away the taxpayers' money. We'll be paying for them to stay, for them to be healthy. We'll have to feed them rather than just give them a job to work.
Yeah, but then you're taking the job away from other Namibians.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
Then we would need to pay out of taxpayers' money to pay the Namibians to survive.
So okay. How far do we take morals then? Or what type of cases? Like we see that there's a war in Angola probably. Yeah?
Yes.
Let's say there's a war in Angola.
Right.
So do we want people that are getting shot at to go through a legal process probably? And I'm just hypothetically saying.
It's what
Let's
what Stephanus James Ananias is asking. He says, I'm asking, what is Angola doing to aid their people? You've got to remember also, Stephanus, there are way more people in Angola than we have in people in Namibia.
Yeah.
So these people are desperate because of a drought reason, not because of a war reason.
Yeah, no, I understand
okay.
that, but I'm just saying, how far do we take morals? So we say, okay, drought, okay, you need to go through that. If there's a war, just come through. We say that when there's a war.
No, we need to be good neighbors. We want good neighbors because, we also would like Angola to help us if we're in trouble.
Yeah, but would we want them to go through the immigration process first?
Well, if they are in the country illegally, that would make them a refugee. Okay, if they come into the country illegally and they've got a reason to be in the country illegally because of drought, Mitch, not war. Forget war now.
Okay.
Because of drought. Then they are in the country illegally, but they are in the country as a refugee. Right.
Yeah.
So we should, as a Namibian neighbor to Angola, we should be looking after these people as best as we can. The question that I then have is, should we not put them into refugee camps? Forget the taxation. We all know that our tax money is going to be paying for that. But then at least our Namibian laborers are going to be able to keep their jobs because the employers don't have the option of employing cheaper labor, which then means we are earning better tax again out of those Namibian laborers.
Which I understand, creating an economy. So now these people, what are they going to be doing at the refugee camps? They'll just be there.
Yes. They'll be there and they'll be looked after in
And
terms
we'll just
of
be looking
water
after
and food. Okay? But we're not allowing them to work. They are in a safe environment. They are in an environment where they now are not drought stricken because they're being supplied food and water. Okay?
And they'll just be there.
And-
That's what they'll be doing the
And
whole day.
They are just there.
Rather than
once
them
the
just having a
situation
job.
changes, they need to go back to Angola. If
Why
it
don't
r-
we let them work until the situation changes?
Because they're taking away the jobs of the Namibian
and we
laborers.
text them, Moss. We
You
text
don't-
them. We give them a job and we
You're
text them.
damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That is the problem. So, and what the Omosati Regional Police Commander, Titus Shikongo, is sticking with, he has to apply the law. He is the police. And the law says that employing illegal immigrants is a punishable offense. So we should be locking up the employers.
And there is no use opening our borders to refugees. Then just leave
Right.
them. Just leave them to die there.
Florian Hansen says, yes, refugee camp is okay to start with because Namibians has housing problems already. Totally with you on that one.
Yeah, I've seen.
Mutumba is on. Mutumba Simata is on. He says, Mitch, please, your mindset is confusing. Namibia is not the Red Cross. We already have an unemployment situation. The moral of the story is every country takes care of its people. Some must enter... hang on just a moment, I lost you there. The moral of the story is every country take care of its people. People must enter the country through the right channels. Totally with you there.
Look, so now you guys are talking like this, but when Donald Trump said the same thing, you guys hated him for that. When he said, people, it's illegal. I have a problem with illegal immigrants. He said it. So he said, I'm going to put them in camps there and take them back to their country. People had an issue with him doing that, but now
Right.
we are saying we have to do we have to be good neighbors.
Mitch, let's just
Ah,
stick
on
to
s-
us here. Forget Donald Trump at the moment.
On that
because
problem.
these people are refugees or illegal immigrants in our country because of a drought reason in Angola.
Mm-hmm.
If Donald Trump says, I don't want illegal refugees from Mexico,
Senegal.
it's a total different story. There is no drought in Mexico. These people are fleeing because they want a better life in America than the one that they have. But they don't have a drought problem. So let's just stick with the drought problem as to why these people are in this country. There are many different types of refugees. You get war refugees. You get illegal immigrants because they want to have a better life. In the other country, there's better
So which one is
employment.
acceptable?
Okay, we are talking here. We're sticking to the point of
Okay.
Angola. All right, we're having drought refugees. Let's just hear what everybody still has to say. Mutacha says, Mitch, most of us looked after cattle as boys. What skill set does a cattle herder or someone who cultivate a field or mahango need? A general worker learns what they can do. Just a moment, the system is very slow. A general worker learns what they can do on the job. Kofi is right. There is no war in Angola any longer, and our people are not necessarily lazy. So Namibians know that they are protected by law, and those farmers are looking for people whom they can exploit and not be held responsible. Rose says, Mitch, they need to get documents while in the camp. As soon as they become citizens, they can apply for jobs. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly it. And just think,
Yeah, they
take,
can't just stay in the camps like that for how long? No,
Yes.
they must contribute.
Maybe I can just throw another curved ball into all of this. What is the Angolan embassy doing in Namibia with regards to all of this? What is the Angolan embassy doing in Namibia in order to assist in helping these refugees? Are they going back to the Angolan government and say, listen, we've got drought refugees in Namibia, we need financial assistance? And then probably the Angolan government is going to say, but let them come back to Angola first and then we'll give them the financial assistance. Just another curveball.
Yeah.
Mitch, so you want us to employ these people and probably don't have been educated in any form of employment. Mitch, how do you tax someone who doesn't have documentation? Exactly.
Yeah, tax
If
the employer.
they're not registered with
Tax
the
the
tax man,
employer.
If they're not registered with the taxman, how would the taxman know to tax them?
No, you can actually text the employer then. You can text them through the
No,
employer.
you need to tax the employee. The employer gets taxed on profits, should they be making profits. But in order for the taxman to tax you as Mitch, you need to be registered with the taxman. You've got a tax number. These refugees don't have tax numbers with the
And
taxman.
that's why I was saying that. I'm not talking about this moment. I'm talking about why would they be just at the camps and we just taking care of them? Let's
Right.
let them have the documents, let them work, and we, while they're still at the camps using that as shelter and whatsoever, we tax them when they get the documents. They can't just be staying there until waiting for the situation to be done. Let's just let them contribute. That's what I said.
Okay, that is Mitch's opinion. Florence says America is a big difference between America and Namibia. Esther Mitch says, how long will they be kept in camps while not making a living? The idea of refugee is to integrate them so they feel better than the situation they came from. Why take people hang on a moment. Why take people they can't cater to, especially if they are already there? Check the Ukrainians flocking in. They're being taken care of. The kids will go to school eventually. Okay, so why
My
don't
point
we,
exactly.
That's so why don't we just open up SADC?
Yeah, the borders.
Open up the borders so that people can go wherever it is that they want to go, because that is what the European Union has done. You can go from any country to any other country and go and work there. Okay, so you can travel freely in the European Union. Why should we not do it for the South African development communities, for for SADC? Okay, Joshua Adula says the Angolans drive local taxi. How are they immigrants? Stephanus James Ananias saying, I saw some guy from DRC with refugee ID document. That same guy was selling drugs, got caught and escaped from police custody. True story. Mitchell says, no, Mitch, Trump was just labeling non-American people, even Latinos, who have lived in America for years. Those people were being targeted for not being white. Absolutely right with you on that one, Mutumba. Total different story here with us than it is in America. If the government already is hosting them in camps, it means that they've accepted them being there, so it is their job to figure it out. And that is what Estimate says. Yes, and like I said, if the situation in Angola changes, then we'll take a couple of buses and we drive them back to the border.
Yeah.
And then we'll just see them next week again when they cross back over again.
Ja, kom ons sien maar en julle moet met hy bias politics ophou. Mitchell Mutumba. As even that and I've heard all those almost most of the speeches that Trump gave. He specifically said if people come through in the country with the right documents, he'll accept them. Not that the people were targeted. People just use that.
Joshua Adula says Angolans are treated as the 15th tribe in Namibia. Talk about the Congolese or Tanzanians that are here. And what about the Zimbabweans? How many Zimbabweans do we also have in Namibia?
We have a lot.
Oh,
Like even in the music industry, we have a lot.
So if we have all these non-Namibians, in our country, that means they are already in our country. Then we might as well.
But they're not illegal.
Let's just open up the borders. What's the purpose of the border?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not illegally here. They got the papers. They got their study permits. They got their work permits, and they're here. So it's not that they're illegal. So they're here for legally, and they're doing the job. The other people for the farm workers is people that just came illegally in the country without documentation. So they just have to settle for whatever the farmer says.
Mitchell Mutumba Simata says, no, Mitch, that's what is causing Operation Dudula. Be very careful with such statements. Florence says, what's going on with Mitch today? Mitch Mutumba says, in SA...
You know the Operation Dudula thing?
No, what is that?
It's something in SA. They started a group of people that are targeting foreign people.
And this is a local group,
Yeah.
a local citizen group.
Yeah.
And they're targeting foreign nationals. And what do
nationals.
they do then?
I think
Shoot them?
kill them.
them?
This xenophobia thing that we had.
Yes.
It derived
It's
from
basically
there.
from there.
Yeah. So no, but look, if you're legally in the country, you're legally in the country. You can do that. I can stand up and go to South Africa and go work legally.
Yes.
Become a comedian. They have a whole career there. But
Right.
if I go through the scallum ways, don't have documentation, and I'm there, it's people can complain about it. You shouldn't be surprised if people complain.
So, Mutumba, when I was in South Africa, that must have been now about 2.5 years ago, we were traveling only by Uber in Cape Town. And each and every Uber driver that we drove with was a Zimbabwean. We didn't get one South African driving a Uber. Each and every Uber that we called was a Zimbabwean driving that Uber. Okay.
And if they make a business for themselves, that's just fine.
Right.
They are African. They are Africans, and we should benefit from our neighboring countries.
Mutumba says, Kaufman, the reason why we can't open borders in SADC because every country has an unemployment issue. The police were moving trades who were using visitation visa to conduct economic business, which was illegal because they didn't have the right papers. Florence says Zims did marry Namibian women. They became Namibian.
Yeah,
well, we all know that.
There was that trend that, and it happens all around. Yeah? We should just know that. Like there's even a whole show of American ladies marrying guys from Nigeria, bringing them in, and it's a reality TV show there.
Right.
That those ladies says, if you don't have sex with me, I'll revoke your green card.
Wow.
They have a reality show. It's a business now. But there was a trade that the guys were getting married to ladies, like especially in Katutura and just to get their documentation, and they're Namibian. And that's why you'll see in Tamara location, Herero location, Vambu location, you'll find them a lot there.
Right.
They have houses there.
Okay, so what are these women saying, that we Namibian men are unattractive and that Zimbabweans have got longer
lifespans?
We all know size matters, Mitch. We spoke about that early on in the show. You mentioned it with the small feet. So are we saying Zimbabweans have got bigger feet than Stompy, and that is why the women will marry them?
Even the Angolans did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was people had girls married these guys and they paid them. The guys paid these girls
to marry them.
Just and then they get divorced again. It's just business, and then he brings his family.
Right.
So now he's legally Namibian. He brings his true family.
Right.
You see, so I'm like, it was a big thing. I think it was in the early 20s, early 2000s. It was a big thing. It was a money-making scheme.
Uh-huh.
Would you do that if a woman from, let's say, from Egypt probably ask you, Kaufman, can we get married? And I pay you $400,000.
And we'll get married.
And no,
I don't
I'm
think
paying
I'll
you.
do that.
No,
It's
you're
just
just helping me to get the documents. Wouldn't you think that's a way, Or they say $50,000 I'll pay you, and let's get married, and we can get divorced after that, just for me to get the documentation.
Difficult to say, hey? But I don't think I'll do it, because that's the question you ask. But I'm sure that there will be other people that will be more than willing to actually do that.
Why wouldn't you do it?
No, it's just against my moral compass. No?
But I will do it. I'll do it. I'll even make
I know you would do
I
it.
can start a business from there.
Yes.
So the girls can call me, inbox me.
Right. Joshua Abdullah says, it's really rare to get a Nama driving a taxi. Mitch, can you explain why we have less Nama taxi drivers?
No, there are a lot of Nama taxi drivers. It's just like being in the sun for that long, they become a little bit darker, and you guys start thinking they are Damaras.
Right.
Yeah. But they start off as Namas, but after like 6 months of driving taxi,
Joshua,
they look like Damaras.
I think there are no Nama drivers in taxis because their feet smell too much.
Yeah, but we do have Nama drivers, but very, very few. Very few.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got like, in Keetmanshoop, are there taxis?
Yeah.
And who drives those taxis? Bambus.
Most of the time.
And you said yesterday we should take all the Bambus away from Grootfontein.
No, I didn't say that.
You did say that.
No.
I'll ask our viewers. You did say that.
No, I
You
didn't say
said
that.
the Bambus need to go back to the north and the South should just belong to the Namas. You're shooting yourself into your own little foot because yes, because then if you do that, you will not have taxis in Keetmanshoop if you take the Vambus away and put them back into the north.
What I said was basically everybody that have top positions in the government, parastatals and what is mostly Ojivambu.
Right.
So I said people started striking because of that, the youth, and they were complaining about that. It was actually in one of the dailies.
Okay.
So I said that's the problem that they think they have because of unemployment. So they think they're unemployed because of that.
Exactly.
But the thing is that they don't also go out and go look for jobs. They don't want to do the odd jobs. They don't want to do, like we just said now, taxi.
Yeah, but
So
why do the Namas then not drive taxis in Keetmanshoop and start a taxi
that's
war?
what it's the same problem we're talking about, like that's happening there in the north. So they feel it's because other people come through and start businesses and start doing these odd jobs, and that's why they're not having a good living standard or whatsoever or job.
Right.
So they feel like that, and that was their reason for going to strike.
Okay.
So Neville asked, so what do you think is the problem in the South? And I said, I don't think we really have a problem, but I think it's the unemployment because they were striking about it. Yep.
Estimate says Angolan refugee situation had been there in Namibia for years. The government should decide, will we keep them or send them back, yet secure the entrance points. Not having documentation is not good. One can take a refugee in only to find out if they committed war crimes or other stuff. Stefanus, DJ Kofi, organize the weather assemblief. Yes, Stefanus, I will do the weather shortly. Okay, Switch says, Ach, Kofi, we need Vikings, please. We want Thor hammer. You'll have my hammer. Joshua says Zimbabweans are hard-working Africans. Namibians are mellow, chilled, down-to-earth nation. We tolerate foreigners. Mutumba says, Kaufman, I'll send you the link. What Mitch is saying is kind of right. Operation Dudula is dealing with illegal immigrants who are illegal within South Africa and are conducting economic activities. There we have it. So, economic activities such as driving taxis, opening up shops without the right papers, which then led to citizens of South Africa to take matter into their own hands, because the police and the authorities weren't enforcing the law. I think that is where the situation is going to become desperate. These Angolans are now drought refugees working as cheap labor for the employers up in the north. The Namibians are now not going to get their jobs, and they're going to become desperate, and the Namibian locals, the citizens there, are going to take matters into their own hands. Okay. Estimate says you don't even swim. Not quite with that. Anyway, Vosha says Nama taxi drivers are very short-tempered. Why is that? Are Namas generally short-tempered people?
Yeah.
Why?
I think most of them, because I don't really, but I've just seen a lot of them being they're very short-tempered.
Right.
Because I think most of the times they had to prove themselves. They were always put in a position to prove themselves.
Right.
Because, you see, you call somebody short.
Yes.
And now you feel like you're going to, you're superior to them. And just a clink kind of a.
Right.
And now they
so
just want to.
Constant.
So they just want to show you a score. And so they want to just match the energy always. And it's been like that.
But you know that we're just making a joke.
Yeah,
jokes.
I know.
It's not personal.
And that's a nice thing that I'm probably not fully Nama. Because I know a lot. You go to Keetman and you say that to a Nama guy. He'll be going home thinking about it. That man come say a score. Then he'll go to his cousin's house, buy a beer, think about it.
Yeah.
Later, after 6 weeks, he'll come to your house.
Right.
Kom net eet coffee.
Ek wil jou slant. Okay, so it ponders in his head.
Yeah.
Okay, Penda says, own little foot without a sock yet. Florence says, let's mix because Namibia is already diverse, so is its people and different countries' people. It's good. Joshua says, Mitch, you say the Namas can't reach the paddles. That's why they are few in the taxi business. Man, Joshua, they kan nie so sê nie. We get cars for small people as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Die nuwe Toyota, die electric car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the new Toyota Corolla hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah.
It's called the Cross. It's a beautiful car. It's fantastic, yeah.
Look
You should
how-
go and have a look at it.
Yeah.
They're talking like something you need 5 liters or 10 liters of fuel to get from Windhoek to Swakop.
What? in
Because
that
it
one?
just generates, as it drives, as the car rolls, it generates.
How much
its
is
own-
like 5 liters of fuel? Like,
No, man,
how much will it cost you?
$100 or $150 or something like
That's
that.
how much? Oh my God, But
Go and
that's
have a
the
look
thing
at that
of-
car. Honestly, don't go and have a look at the new Toyota Corolla hybrid. It's a fantastic car, I think. Jürgen Geisep says there are no number drivers, want hulle bly net dronk. Wanneer sal hulle nugter genoeg wees om Natas toe te gaan? Mitch says, Littlefoot shame. Mitch, sorry I call you Shorty now every day is go Shorty is your birthday. Okay, midget, feet shot with his own midget pistol. Stop it with Mitch. Hou op met Mitch. Be nice to Mitch today.
I thought when you said that, I'm the only one that got that pun. But then everybody started commenting about that.
Mr. Mitch says, Kofi's Bigfoot footloose. She's also saying, you heard it? Here, Kofi, he offered me his hammer. I should fly to Namibia. Indeed, I heard that. Short people syndrome, hulle bly kwaad, says Ro. Joshua says, are there any German taxi drivers? I don't know. What I do know that there are quite a couple of German tourist drivers, which in effect is a taxi driver with benefits, I guess. Right.
Proper
There
perks.
are a number of German tourist drivers. They drive these little buses and minibuses and all that. So they go collect the German tourists at the airport, and then they show them the country. Esumich says Jürgen Geisep, he likes them tall and athletic. Florence says Namas is short, that's why. Joshua Dula says Kofi Kramer, German driver, laat hy my jive ry. Kaufman, it seems Nama men have short man syndrome. That is what Mitchell Mutumba says. And Esther Mitch is also saying, check Mr. Bean car. Okay, everybody's asking for the weather. So there we had our main points for today. But let's just, before we get to the weather, just share the coronavirus statistics, because everybody is currently checking out the statistics on a daily basis because people are getting the flu. And we certainly don't want to have another wave of coronavirus cases. Newly confirmed cases yesterday were 80 recoveries. That brings our active cases to 195 with 1 death so far. And that was 2 days ago. So there we have the COVID cases. Okay, and then it's definitely getting colder, Mitch.
Oh,
In the mornings.
die winter het my betrek.
Yes.
Yeah, like in Ketmans, like it was a little bit chilly, and I know like it every night it is chilly there. You
Okay.
know, it's gonna be really hot during the day,
Right.
and then it's chilly. So I was like, okay, cool. When I came back on Sunday, Monday morning, I started feeling like that the winter is here. So it's
Yes.
like creeping up on us.
Absolutely.
I don't know, like, and then we have in the northern parts, we have rainfall, like, I don't know, every day they're having, like, some streets are flooded there already. So
Yes.
you have rainfall mixed with the cold weather, it's a problem.
Yes. So please look after your immune systems and make sure you take all your vitamins and stuff. So and also, you know, keep something warm at hand, that if it does get cool, that you can at least put on a jacket or something, because this is April, and April is the month where we all get the flu. But in the meantime, the weather in Namibia today, the interior cool at first in the interior, otherwise partly cloudy and warm to hot in the Karas region and the northeast, with a few thunder showers in the extreme northeast. Elsewhere sunny and warm to hot. The windy weather in the south and over the central high grounds can be expected. The coast partly cloudy and mild with morning fog patches, with a wind moderate northwesterly to southwesterly. Looking at the maximum temperatures for the day, we have a little bit of warmer weather. Windhoek today 27, Walvis Bay 23, with Swakopmund 21. In the Zambezi, Katima Mulilo 29 and Omuthia 32, Ondangwa 33, Oshakati also 32. 32. To the west of the country in the Kunene region, Opuwo 33, Ochivarongo 29, with Rehoboth at 28. And then we are looking at Marintal 33, Keetmanshoop 27, Gobabis 29 today, and also Beitepos also 29. There we have it. Just in closing, we are going to just read a couple of the last closing comments. Let me just get... Okay, Florence says, ek is ook 'n namma, jy's nie alleen nie, Mitch, ek het ook 'n stompie. Nee, ek het stompie. What are you meaning by that, Florence? We need a German taxi driver that must drop customers to Umbili and the Herero locaties. Yes, Stephanus, James Ananias. Kaufi, have you seen women drivers here in Windhoek? That is actually it. Why don't we get more women
I've seen
drivers?
two.
What,
seen
women
two.
taxi
Yeah.
drivers?
I know 2.
Really? Shouldn't we get more?
We should be inclusive in the taxi and the bricklaying industry.
Ah, okay. But let's ponder about that for tonight. And then we can talk about it tomorrow. Should we have more women taxi drivers? That is the big question. We'll address that tomorrow. Let's not forget about that. Florence says, South is always cold. Wambuland, it's very warm. And it's time that we get woolen socks, Mitch. Yes, Estumich says woolen socks. She comes from cold climate, Estumich. You know there are socks for winter, right? Yes. And Asino says our people will only work on farms but not in cattle posts where there are no yards and camps.
Yeah, and there was a story, I think back in 2008 or so, that a family actually froze to death during winter in the south.
Where? In the south?
Yeah, I think it
Wow.
was in Keetmans or was it in
Look,
Karasburg?
I know Keetmans can get extremely cold.
It gets cold.
It gets
Karasburg too. Don't even and we had cases that we had snowfalls there.
Yes,
that side.
I know.
And so it really gets cold that side. So people that side, they should know already by now.
Right.
Get yourself
Organized.
This is like, really winter has to come was like in stages.
Yes.
This winter is just like boom. This
Started.
morning is like boom. Ons begin.
Yeah.
Like
Well, there we have it.
I don't go during winter to the south.
And then the final comment from Joshua, they will get dropped. Women taxi drivers, it's not safe for them to be inclusive in that industry. And that's actually very sad because, them driving around, they need to protect themselves because we all know
get yourself a gun like the male drivers also get robbed. Just get yourself a gun and protect yourself.
Yes.
But get inclusive.
That's
get into the business.
Right. That is our show for today. Thank you very much. Neville, if you're out there, we know you're listening. Just get better soon.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have you back, hopefully tomorrow morning. But in the meantime, from Mitch and myself, it's Shap Shap.
Beats man, ek like sky. Want is baie humble, maar ons bly fly. Ek bly loyal vir jou, no. Jy bly loyal vir my, no. Dis die liefde wat ons opbou.